Oxymoron!
Foreshadowing!
The climax.
Wow. Climax. You're crescendoing story arc. Anyway, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the next episode of Fortnite. So, my Gabe crashed earlier. That's why we're in the middle of this mission that we've been doing for 20 minutes.
What? No way.
Right. FL says, so Zans, I found fire enemies. They are the elementals. Ah, that makes sense. Now I just need a bunch of weapons that do energy damage.
I just need a...
Okay.
Energy damage affects all elements equally, and it oh Jesus, turn that off. And it
I did.
and it does affliction status, so you do extra damage. So yeah. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted by, I don't know, the game hating us talking about spoilers, we were talking about Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, the new remaster that's coming out October 31st for the PlayStation 4. This stream is not sponsored by Dragon's Dogma. Or Capcom? Yeah, Capcom would be the one that would. Anyway.
Capcom. Yeah.
Anyway, we were talking about that, and you brought zombies over here, bro.
Did not.
But, yeah, we were talking about that, and I was like, hey, I'm going to talk about all of the endings for it, so spoiler warning, if you haven't played Dragon's Dogma, we're going to talk about that. I brought Hobo in here, because Hobo and I were very fanatic about it when it came out originally. Such a good game. Such a good game. One of my favorite games I've ever played. This is not an understatement.
Let's be realistic.
Easily one of my favorite games I've ever played. So,
I've never played another 100% single-player game that much. Like, I didn't even play Skyrim that much.
yeah, no, there was so much to do in Dragon's Dogma, and it's criminal that it's so underappreciated just because of its graphics. And that is the reason.
Yeah.
That is the reason
Oh, yeah,
why so many
100%.
people didn't give it a chance. Just because of the fact that, you know, it didn't have the best graphics. And the graphics weren't even that bad.
No.
Oh, another thing I found out, with buildings and stuff like that, you have to actually connect them in order for the base thing that you set down to actually spread to them. So they actually have to be touching. CFL? Like, just because it's in the radius, it has to actually be touching. And diagonal doesn't work. It has to actually be touching. Like this. See?
Diagonally.
I won! Where? Diagonally! Yeah, it's basically my whole life. But, yeah, a little bit. But, right. Dragon's Dogma. We're going to be talking about the ending for Dragon's Dogma. Several of the endings, because there's a lot of them.
The endings.
The endings. I'm going to try and remember them. I mean, I have the strategy guide right over there on my bookshelf. I could just go grab it, but I'm not going to, because...
You have a strategy guide?
Hell yeah, I have a strategy guide. I actually have a lot of strategy guides.
Alright, but for reals, with that game, it was necessary.
Oh, for so many things in it, yeah. It was like little quests. Like, hey, why don't you find my snakeskin purse over by the water or some shit? Okay, sure. Cue 40 hours of gameplay later. Where the fuck is this goddamn purse? Yeah, everyone that's played the game knows exactly what I'm talking about, too.
Oh, absolutely.
This is synonymous with the gameplay. It's synonymous.
Masterworks all.
Masterworks all. You can't go wrong. Exactly.
Just
But, just a jape. I said that earlier, and that's what instigated this whole conversation about,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's what started this whole kerfuffle. But, I'm gonna throw down some retractable floor spikes, FL, if you don't mind. But, okay, so, I'll start with where I started originally, with, the conversation.
There's a dragon.
Shishon. So there's this dragon. His name is Grigori.
Shoshonal.
Shoshonal.
It's a cult.
Yes, there is a cult that he does not endorse, by the by.
But he has a cult.
He has a cult. It's not his cult. It's somebody else's cult. They're using his name for it. His stature. Literally. And figuratively. But, okay. So, Grigori is a dragon. Cool. Cool beans. He shows up, rips your heart out at the beginning of the whole game because you're the chosen one. You're the origin and all that shit. You know, very, you know, cliche as far as all that shit's concerned. The game is fairly cliche, which isn't a problem necessarily, but that is one thing that I feel that should be said about the game. It is fairly cliche, but, you know, it's neither here nor there. Anyway, first ending that you can receive, okay? End of the game, you end up fighting Grigori. Spoiler warning. Duh, you fight the dragon that ripped your heart out. So, you end up fighting Grigori, and the first ending you can get is where you can take a deal with him. Now, there's this character, he's the Duke of Grand Soren. Grand Soren's the main capital. He's the Duke of the whole damn area that you're in, which is Grancis. Fuck off, Rockman.
Providence.
Providence? Would you call it a Providence? A dukedom?
Yeah.
Dukedom? Is that a thing?
Kingdom?
A dukedom? A fief? A fiefdom? I think it's a fiefdom, actually. Neither confirm nor deny, Rockman. Fiefdom?
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Okay, fiefdom.
Fiefdom.
Fiefdom. FL, I think it is.
welcome,
Okay, well there you
Capcom.
go. There you go. So he's the head honcho of the whole fiefdom, and he I'm glad I remember that word. He ends up he's the head honcho for a number of years, way longer than he should be by all rights, you know, by all human rights anyway. But you find out that he made a deal with Grigori. Grigori gave him a deal because the Duke was originally an Arisen. He was given a deal by Grigori. He said, "Okay, Duke, we could fight, and I could probably kill you, or you could sacrifice your beloved, your one true love."
Eleanor?
Yeah, Eleanor.
Is her name Eleanor?
What? Yeah, her name was
Eleanor!
yeah, her name was Eleanor.
Yep.
Eleanor! Choke, 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 choke. Yeah.
Watch it from behind curtains.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
Yeah.
This is so awkward. What do I do here?
Right? Seriously, just hiding behind like a fucking dresser and just like, oh, awkward. I don't know if this is something they do every night or not, but anyway, he ends up sacrificing. What's that?
Is this their thing?
This is their kink. Anyway, he ends up sacrificing his beloved Eleanor, and he ends up gaining power. So he gets a wish, effectively, I think is what it is. Grigori says, you know, I'll give you a wish, or some nonsense, and he wished for power. So he became the Duke for, you know, until he dies. Which is, you know, never. Because as long as Grigori is alive, all the people that were the Arisen for that dragon, that particular dragon, they can't die. They just can't. Okay? So Duke was like, okay, as long as this giant, you know, imposing dragon is still alive, then, you know, I'm not gonna die. You know, how hard could that be to accomplish? It wasn't.
Like, no one's gonna be able to kill him.
Yeah, like, nobody's gonna murder a fucking dragon. Dragons are kind of a big deal. Zulia ruining game endings with the Zanzibar Man and friends. Hey, it's not ruined. Okay, it's a little ruined, but it's still just as good a game, even if you know the ending, because it's still confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I beat it 3 times before I figured out what was happening.
And he still didn't get all the endings. You gotta beat it a number of times. But okay, that's the first ending that you can chronologically get. You accept the deal from Grigori, and you become the new Duke, and you get all this power and shit, but you never get to do anything with it. It's just a cutscene at the end where you're like, okay, I'm the head honcho now.
You're like sitting on the throne or something.
Yeah, you're like sitting on throne, you got like gold and shit next to you.
Fucking jester.
Yeah. Fucking jester. Nobody likes that. Nobody
I
likes
don't
that.
remember his name.
Nope. Fess?
There's something very condescending, and he puts a stupid fucking hat on you.
Oh, that fucking hat. I kept that hat on for so fucking long. Anyway, so I guess we could continue with the mission. So okay, the next ending that you can chronologically get is you beat Grigori. Oh no, sorry. You don't beat Grigori. You lose to Grigori. That's an ending. I love it when games do that, by the way. When you lose and there are consequences to losing. Like, what was that?
Quote.
Yeah, what was that Legend of Zelda game that came out where you lost and it actually split off into a separate timeline where Ganon won? Like there was a...
I have no clue.
Yeah, there was like a little...
Familiar. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there was a little stinger at the end when you lost. It was like, okay, you lose, Ganon wins. And that's how it was, you know, finished. But anyway. So, you can get your ass kicked. by Grigori, and you will then restart the cycle, I believe, of you becoming the dragon. So that's the whole plot twist. That's the whole plot twist. It's a big cycle for this game. Everything happens over and over and over and over and over again. Nothing we can do about it. What the fuck? Are you typing? What are you... Stop it. Anyway, so...
That's how you do Space Ninja stuff.
I guess. That's one of the endings you can get. Okay? The next ending is you beat Grigori. Alright? You beat Grigori. Once you beat Grigori, is that when the Everfall opens?
That is when the Everfall opens, because it causes a cataclysm.
Right.
It undoes all that magic.
Yeah. So, okay. Grigori, once he dies, like Hobo said, a cataclysm starts. It's kind of a big deal. The main city that you're in, Grand Soren, like 60 or 70% of it just falls into nothing. It just falls into a void. It literally turns into an Everfall. And the reason why it's called an Everfall is because you can jump into that hole. And you will just keep falling, and falling, and looping, and falling, and looping. And that's why it's called an Everfall. Clever, right? So, you fall into Everfall, and yada yada yada, you can find other dungeons and stuff. It was a really cool New Game Plus.
It was really cool. Oh god, it's so cool.
It was very, very
and, like,
cool.
the whole area, like, the surrounding environment, like, around Grand Soren and shit changed. The new enemies popped up.
Yeah, it's not even a New Game Plus, it's after game, I suppose. But,
It's like...
the end game, yeah, the end game of the game was really, really fun. Now, in order to get to the quote-unquote real ending of the game, you have to go through, what was it? The Everfall, this in-game dungeon, effectively. You had to collect these things. They were like...
It's like stones.
They're
like revived stones.
Stones, yeah, whatever they are. You need a bunch of them. And, when you collect...
Yeah, they were the revived stones. Yeah.
15 of them? I don't know. When you collect a bunch of them...
15 or 20, one of those.
15 or 20, some number that sounds like it's going to be difficult, but it's not really that big a deal. Where's this fucker coming from? There he is. Why are you coming from this area? Ow. So, you collect the stones that you need. Alright? And it opens up this gate. Now, this gate, once you go through it, you're done. That's it. You're done. So it's kind of one of those, okay, you had a lot of fun doing this Everfall stuff, but if you want to keep doing it, you gotta stop.
Fight the community boss.
Yes, fight the community
Spoiler
boss.
alert, it's difficult and people will troll you and make it impossible.
Yes, once they get bored of actually trying to succeed. Which was, yeah, I really hope they re-implement that.
I hope they do it better.
I honestly didn't have much of an issue with the system they had. It didn't get trolly until months after the initial summoning. That was just when people got bored.
To give context to how people are trolling, every time...
Well, we should probably explain the actual boss. Okay.
Yeah,
the way this boss works is it's an undead dragon, which is basically a reskin of Grigori. But bigger. Way bigger. So big. It's really fucking big. So, this undead dragon gets summoned once you know where to actually go to summon it, which is a path that you can take it through the Everfall. We figured out which platform it was. What was it? The 6th platform down on, like, the, I don't know, northwestern side or some bullshit.
Something like that.
Something like that. And you could fall into it whenever you wanted. All you had to do is just fall down the Everfall, which, again, is just a big-ass hole. So, yeah. You fight this thing, and the way it works is you get your own boss to fight. No one else is there. It's just you. Now, the way that it's a community boss fight is through asynchronous health pools for the boss, meaning I get a health pool to take on, Hobo gets a health pool to take on, yada, yada, yada. The more people that... The more people that... Jesus Christ. The more people that fight the boss, the more health it gets, and so on and so forth. And the way that it worked for next iterations and stuff like that is based on how well you do in the fight for any generation. That's what they call them, generations for the fight. Mm-hmm. It will augment the next segments of fights. So, say for instance, you kill the first one like in 2 seconds. The next one will be way harder. It'll have way more health, it'll do more damage, mostly health though.
Oh, you gotta describe the fight though, like with the special circumstance to it.
Ah, well, okay. If you're not familiar,
make the fight hard.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with how Dragon's Dogma does in combat, it's a third-person action RPG. All right. Now, the big comparison that people got for it was Shadow of the Colossus, and that's a very apt description. God damn it, explosions. Repair. Okay, so the way that the combat works in it is you can fight whatever you want, and everything you fight has weak spots on it. Now, the way you get to those spots is you climb said monsters, or you jump into them, or you grab them. There's a dedicated grab button. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. Hang on. I need to drink something real quick. My throat is dry. Oh, Lobber, don't do it! I'm busy! Okay, so. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, no, that was just the lobbers. So with the boss, all right, you can climb everything, do all that stuff, but the undead dragon community boss that you had to fight had special little spots that you had to attack. On, let's see, the tops of his wings, his back, his hand. No, yeah, no, both of his hands. Every joint. Like, he just had a bunch of them. He had like 16 or 18 or 20 spots on his body that you can attack, and you had to attack those in order to do damage. And then once you dealt enough damage to one of the nodes, it got destroyed, and you had to switch up to a new one. Now, the health of his total health and his actual nodes and all that stuff was determined, like I said earlier, based on past performance in the boss fight. So, if you guys did well, he had more health. If a bunch of people died, let's see, if a bunch of people died, that's when he got more health, was it? Or no, he healed. He healed, that's what it was. Every single Arisen that was killed in the fight, or died in the fight, and I make the difference there between them because of the trolling, any Arisen that died in the fight healed that current generation of undead dragon. Now, at first, yeah, you do have a time limit. What was the time limit? 10, 15, 20 minutes? I don't know.
I think it was like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of time. You didn't have a lot of time. But you could die very easily if you didn't know what you were doing. But anyway, the way people trolled in this is that people would jump in, spawn the fight. You can't just do this ad nauseum. You have to wait a certain amount of time to re-trigger the fight. But people would jump into the fight and then immediately jump off the edge and kill themselves, which would then give health back. And so many people kept doing this that it healed the undead dragon every single time it spawned. So it was effectively impossible because there were more people killing themselves than there were people putting in actual effort to fight it. And this didn't happen until, months after the game had come out. But still, it was pretty shitty, especially for people like Hobo and I that actually planned stuff around fighting the undead dragon. We were like, okay, this time I'm going to jump on and I'm going to fight it, yada, yada, yada. And we planned out schedules for it. Like, straight up. It was a lot of fun. But
and you got really good shit.
You got really good shit. That was the other cool thing I liked. Okay? Regardless of whether you beat him or not, per a certain amount of time per generation, players that contributed the most in terms of damage got better rewards for doing that. So it was a contribution reward. And you got more if you beat it. Hobo and I were there for 2 or 3 defeats? Was it?
Yeah, so there's 2 different ways to get the rewards from him. There was being present at time of defeat.
Yeah. Oh, and then afterwards.
Just contribution.
Yeah. So
if you contributed a lot, naturally you got more stuff. Mm-hmm. But if you were there at time of defeat, that's when you get the most stuff. Mm-hmm. There's like a 15 to 20 minute interval where when you join in, there'll be one spot left, and you just have to hit it, and it'll pop instantly.
Yeah, that was fun. Because like you could
And then you
see
just got a
his
boatload of
health
stuff.
bar going down as time progressed, just from the people that were fighting or when people were fighting. But yeah, no, it was really fun, and it was really great. And that doesn't really. Oh, you got fairy stones. Were they fairy stones? Were those things?
Oh,
No.
fairy stones.
Yeah,
It's fairy
there's no
stone.
fairy stones.
Yeah, you get fairy stones from beating or contributing also. So that's one way you can get like all of them at once if you get lucky or if you're just like really, really, really badass. Hobo and I actually
Wait. What do you think fairy stones are?
okay, I know fairy stones were used for the transporting. Were
Yeah,
those
that
the
was your
revive
fast
ones?
travel consumable.
Yeah, were those the revivable ones or was that a separate thing?
That's a separate thing. So there was a place setter, and then there was the fairy stone. I don't remember what the place setter was.
I don't know. Anyway, but you get those stupid little stones that you need to collect in order to unlock the end of the game, or to access the end of the game. But
Oh, the resurrection stones.
yeah, there they are. Those are the things. The dealy doos. The dilly dibbables. Dealy doos. Okay, so the way you unlock that is you get the stones from wherever. You can actually have them before you start the end of the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which
You
we
get like 2 or 3 of them, 3 or 4.
yeah, which we ended up doing later on whenever we played. But okay, the way that you go about beating the game, like actually beating the game, is what you have to do is FL's the party leader. Okay, that works. What you do is you give up your stones, 15 or 20 or however the fuck many that you need to you give up, and it opens up a portal. You jump into the portal. Thank you, FL. You jump into the portal, okay? And then when you jump into the portal, it actually sends you to the blue. It sends you to the blue tunnel thing, right?
Yes.
Or was the tunnel after? No.
I'm pretty sure it's straight to the tunnel.
Yeah, whatever. It's straight to this blue tunnel thing, okay? Now, when you go into this blue tunnel, there's a number of options you have. You're given a choice by
There's
this...
2 options, yeah.
Yeah, you're given a choice by I feel like there's something I'm missing when you jump into the portal. I feel like there's something in between the portal and the tunnel.
I'm pretty sure pawns talk to you before you go in. But I know when you're in the portal, it's Ghosts of Christmas Past style.
Yeah.
Like
Anyway.
all the NPCs you've interacted with are in the tunnel,
Yeah. Anyway,
and you have to kill them.
yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But as you're running through transform key, sword transform schematic. Oh, okay. Well, let's do that. This is gonna be a longer episode because I want to keep talking about Dragon's Dogma. So fucking deal with it. Anyway, we're just gonna say that you go to the tunnel because I can't remember if there's something in between the tunnel and the gateway. But whatever, you go to the tunnel and you get 2 choices. The game makes it seem like you only have 1 choice, but you have 2. What's up, Smash? Or sorry, Julia. What's up, Julia?
I didn't even know there was 2 choices the first few times through.
Yeah. Wasn't it when I said, "Hey, you could turn around"?
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it is you who told me that.
Yeah. There's the tunnel that you have, and the game makes it seem like you can only go forward. However, if you turn around, you can see your main starting city, Cassidus or whatever, starting town.
Cast something.
Cassa something or other. Cassowary.
Cassowary? Oh.
But you end up seeing that. And what the game doesn't tell you is you can actually turn around, give up everything, and go back to a simple life. Like, you can say, fuck it, I don't want to be the Arisen anymore, and you can go back to your main town, and it'll be like nothing ever happened.
It's like the coward ending or something.
Yeah, it's the, I don't want to deal with this shit anymore, so I'm done. So, you can give up and actually continue with your happy life, quote unquote, happy life. Almost like the dragon thing never happened. Basically, you're put into a dream state. Effectively.
Yeah, it's purgatory.
Yeah.
Enter the Matrix.
Yeah, kinda. But,
It's just a limbo of, what if it never happened? Well, you just live in Cassidus. It's Cassidus!
Cassidus, there it is. And yes, thank you. And that is an ending. That is a way you can complete or end the game. Rather, I'm not gonna say beat the game because that's definitely not beating the game. The other option, which is the more obvious of the two, is once you get to the blue tunnel, you can go forward the way that it originally, points you in the direction that you're going. Now, as you're going through the tunnel, you meet up with all of the important NPCs throughout the game, and you kill them. Well, there's like narration or something going on about, yada yada yada, so on and so forth.
Are they just like shit talking him?
No, I think it's just like, you have a choice or something like that, and, this is something about, whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, upon reaching the end of the tunnel, you end up meeting with the Supreme Being. The Seneschal is his name. When you meet up with the Seneschal, you find out that the prologue to the game, which you played in the beginning, if that wasn't obvious enough, for the prologue, you play as a dude, just a guy. Turns out he was the first... Was it the first Arisen?
Something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Important dude, probably the first Arisen. Can't remember the exact, semantics of it, but he's a big deal. Anyway, you end up fighting that dude, and he refers to himself as the Seneschal. I don't know what that means. It's probably Gaelic or some shit. I don't know. Did that survivor die? I think that survivor just totally died. Son of a bitch. Fucking zombies. That's a big-ass chest. But anyway, you end up fighting the Seneschal. He's like, hey, what up? I see you made a choice. Now, you've got to make another choice. And another choice you do make. So, the Seneschal, and there's more ways to beat the game at this point, or end the game at this point. You can lose to the Seneschal.
Okay. With losing to the Seneschal, that's the one where you turn into the dragon.
That's the dragon one. I actually just thought of that. I was like, hang on, no, that's the dragon part. So, that's when you become the dragon.
I don't think there's one for losing to Grigori.
I think there is. I think there is one.
You just lose to him. That's it.
Anyway. But yeah, that's how you complete you start the cycle over again. You become the new dragon. A little roundabout getting there, but we made it. So yeah, you can lose to the Seneschal. You become the dragon. Whole shit starts over again. Game over. Game over, man. Game over. Okay, you can beat the Seneschal, which will then. Once the Seneschal is defeated, the person that defeated the Seneschal becomes the new Seneschal. So you become God, effectively, which is pretty cool. Now...
Yeah. Or steward, I don't know.
I think God, observer, watcher, because the Seneschal doesn't really interact with anyone.
He can pick people up.
Yeah?
He can pick people up and he's invisible.
Although I don't think that's what the developers had in mind. But anyway, so, okay.
They added it.
Yeah. You're given the powers of the Seneschal. All the Seneschal does is watch and observe for, eternity. Woo! So, you can actually do this, by the way, when you become the Seneschal. You're just left in this great big void, and there's a throne. You can sit in the throne, and when you do, you get transported to various locations that were important in the story. Cassidus, Grand Soren, I think there was one more, but whatever. You can't do anything. Like, you can't see past certain areas, and you can't go out into the world as God. You're invisible, so they can't see you. You can't interact with anybody. Combat. Yeah, you can't. There's no combat. You can't interact with anybody. You can't talk to anyone. However, it's funny. You can pick people up, walk around with them, but I don't think that was the point that the developers were trying to make with the game. Like, you could just pick people up and just, throw them around, and they're like, oh, what the fuck happened? It's funny.
You freak out, they're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's funny, but it doesn't have any impact on anything, effectively. And you can turn off the game right there, and technically that's an ending. You just like, I'm God, sweet, end of my game. And then you're also, at the end, when the former Seneschal gives you a sword. It's like Godsbane, I think the sword's called.
Yeah, I think it is called Godsbane.
Yeah, it's called Godsbane. I'm pretty sure you can figure out what it is and what it's used for. If you can't, then you're probably not smart enough to be watching my YouTube channel anyways. No, but Godsbane means God Killer. It's like Wolfsbane, like the plant. It's like used in alchemy for, treatment against, werewolves and shit like that. Anyway.
Nerd.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, so you're given this Godsbane sword.
He's a witch.
Shut the fuck up. Bruh! Okay, so you're given this sword, and it's not really a sword, it's just an item, called the Godsbane, and it's heavily implied that you can kill yourself when you get bored.
It is very heavily implied.
It's heavily implied. They're like, you're gonna stay alive forever. The only thing that can kill you, or that can end your time being the Seneschal, is if, say for instance, this got plunged into your heart. Just saying. I mean, I'm not saying
you fell or something because you were bored.
I mean, I'm not saying like you fell on it because you got so bored you stopped paying attention. No, I'm not saying that. But yeah, no, they're saying it. Kill yourself when you're tired of sitting on this throne. So that's something you can do. You kill yourself, and then when you kill yourself, you become reborn as...
So,
yeah.
what happens is... So your pawn's with you the whole time.
Yeah, your pawn stays with you throughout the entire game unless you get rid of them. But either way, they're there.
Yeah. So what happens is they're there with you whenever you're Seneschal. They're just hanging out.
I mean, what else are they going to do, right?
So you plunge the Godsbane into your heart, and it kills you, and then like a portal opens up,
drags you into it.
Yeah, and you fall. Your pawn falls, just free falling. Your pawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And pawns have no soul. They're not people. They don't have emotions.
They're like real dolls,
So,
but more useful.
yeah, much more useful. There's side quests in the game that kind of allude to certain things about pawns that weren't
Not going to get into
detailed,
that.
but we're spoiling the ending right now, not the
Not
what's leading up to it.
not the meta to the game.
But whenever you're falling, your pawn's like, Master!
We always had female
Did you say
pawns,
that?
by the way.
Yeah.
So
did
that's why
I.
if we refer to pawns, we refer to them as she or Master with like a feminine voice.
Always had a girl pawn.
Always. Except for those goddamn 11 minutes when
Oh,
Rook was in my fucking party.
Dude.
Fuck Rook. Nobody likes Rook. Hashtag Rook
is
sucks.
The reason. Rook is the reason anytime I have an NPC I don't like and I can name, like Gary, I name them Rook.
Fuck Rook. Anyway.
Because I harbor more hatred for that name than any other name.
God damn it, Rook. You ruined such a good thing.
You ginger fuck.
Son of a bitch. Anyway.
Anyway, so, yeah.
You're free falling
your pawn's-
from this
your pawn's
portal.
like, Master!
Yep.
And eventually your pawn catches up to you, hand outstretched, and you're a corpse, BT dubs. And there's a big blinding light, and you crash into the fucking water. It's like first-person view. And you're like looking at your hands and shit, like, oh god, am I alive? And your beloved, that you rescued from Grigori, runs to the shores of Cassidus, where you landed, to greet you. Well, turns out your pawn, like, merged with you, and is, like, inhabiting your body and using your soul.
Yeah.
And then you just restart.
Yeah, it was a little weird. Who's Akarum?
Like,
Did I just notice that there's a random person here? Who is this Akarum person?
what?
There's a person in our game that I didn't invite, and I'm pretty sure we're set to
FL.
public.
Thanks a
FL,
lot,
did you
FL.
invite someone?
Thanks a lot.
Anyway, so yeah, the end. It ends weird when you start your new game plus. It is weird. Like, it's weird. It's very weird.
What makes it weirder is when you get to the Seneschal again.
Yeah. So, I don't know, FL. I didn't invite anyone, and Rockman didn't invite anyone. Rockman, did you invite someone?
I don't even know how to invite people, guys.
I'm set to private. How did this person get in here?
Smoke is pay grade, bro.
Oh, it says allow friends of friends. So it's one of FL's friends. Damn it, FL!
God damn it, FL!
Whatever.
I know why his name's goddamn FL in my fucking X-Style game.
He was there from the start. Yeah, well, I was talking about Dragon's Dogma from the start, FL, so... Fuck off. Anyway. Little mama, it's me! No, it's not. You're at work. Okay, so... Yeah, that's how you start New Game Plus. You do the Seneschal, you kill yourself. And then your pawn takes over your body, because you don't have a soul? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I have to play it again to fucking get it.
Man, I played it so many
see
times, and
everything.
I still don't understand it.
I know.
It's very confusing.
It's a fucking mess.
It's very confusing, but it does make sense. Like, people have explained it to me, like I've watched videos online and stuff, and it makes sense once it's explained to you. It's just... Yeah. It's just retaining that knowledge. I didn't do a good job of that. But yeah. No, it's weird though. But yeah. So I think those are all the endings.
Yes, I think so.
I think
there are 5 in total.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Dragon's Dogma. That's how Dragon's Dogma ends. I'm really, really excited for it. I put in a bunch of time when it originally came out, and I'm super excited to put more time in. Because I want to see, first off, if they changed up any of the pawn things in it, like how the network works for it and all that stuff. I wouldn't imagine they did. It was pretty solid before.
Yeah, I never had any problems with it.
Yeah, I never had any issues. But, I'm going to spend so much time making my character.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I knew you were going to say it too.
my
She said
god.
so much time, I was like, I knew. You're never going to get it.
I'm
You're
never
never
going
going
to
to get it again.
I'm never
You
going to get it
understand that,
again.
right? It
Of
will
course I
never
understand it.
happen.
I've already been through this twice. Trying to make that fucking... Anyway, okay. So the story behind this is... The first time I played the game, I didn't even spend that long making my character the first time, but the first time I played the game, I made my character. I was like, I'm gonna make my character look like me. Not even fucking kidding you. Spitting image. Looked exactly like me. Exactly like me. Like, 1 for 1. I'm not even kidding. I sent pictures to everyone. I was like, Hobo, Joe, look at this. It looks just like me. I'm in the game. And it did. I looked just like me. Yeah, because the other cool thing about Dragon's Dogma, this is also when they implemented like picture, like in-game like screen capture and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
which
I
is
remember that.
Yeah, which is like synonymous with games, is ubiquitous nowadays. But this was a big deal back in the day because it was one of the first games that really allowed it.
They're ahead of their time.
Yeah, like a photo viewing type of deal. Like you could pause the game and you could change the camera around and take pictures and stuff like that with it, and it was really fucking cool. And on my old PS3, I had several pictures of myself just doing random things, and it was myself because it was me.
Naturally.
And so
I was me. And
I
he
was me. I was me in the game, and he was me. So I was myself in the game. Now that I think about it, though, that is kind of meta. With the whole souls and your pawn taking over.
He is me. Oh god, it's relevant.
Oh god. So yeah, no, but shut up. I'm having an existential crisis here. Oh god, when I died in the game, was that me dying? So, yeah, all sorts of cool shit you can do. Flying mist monsters! Flying mist monsters! Alright.
Continue on with the story.
No, yeah, but I made like a perfect representation of myself in the game. And I lost my data at one point because my system broke.
Everyone did.
Everyone did.
Lost their data and fucking sucked.
Yeah. And never again could I create that character. I could never make me again. And
It's like trying to make your pawn again.
yeah.
Ugh.
I could never make myself again. I got a little close, but it wasn't the same. It's never going to be the same. And I'm going to try to do that this time. I'm going to try to recreate myself. But it's not going to work. And I know it's not going to work. But I can't admit to myself that it won't work, because I'm going to keep trying.
You got it once.
I got it once. It was perfect. And it's never going to happen again, and I can't accept it, because I'm stubborn.
Fuck, there's so many customization options.
So many.
Fuck.
It's like, you remember when people used to think that Elder Scrolls Oblivion had bitchin' customization? Dragon's Dogma shit all over that game. Just right down its throat.
You know what I was really impressed with the customization? It affected your fucking in-game stats.
Yes, it did! I was telling that to Henry when he was playing. Okay, so the way you built your character, like how tall they were, how much they weighed, and all that stuff, affected your in-game stats, like with stamina, weight, capacity, all that stuff. So people always had these really tall, skinny characters. It was really funny. Because, like...
I was super tall and kind of bulky, so I had a lot of carry weight.
Yeah. Like, you wanted to have a certain threshold for weight, and you wanted to have a certain threshold as far as how tall you were, because those affected your main stats. Your most important stat in the game, I don't care what class you were, was focus. Every class used focus. Between, warrior, magician, assassin, shield...
stamina.
Yeah, your focus, stamina, whatever. Same thing. Ranger was super OP.
Oh, fuck. Tenfold arrow.
Tenfold arrow!
That's all you needed.
Right?
Fuck.
And, that was something I really appreciated. Like, how your character, how you built your character, affected things. And it was really, really cool. This was all covered in the strategy guide, too.
How you leveled as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like what classes you leveled as.
Mm-hmm.
Affected your actual stats, so players could...
Yeah, there was an actual route that you should take if you wanted to min-max your stats. Like, if you... Okay, I'll give you a hint right now. If you want to have the best outcome for any of your in-game characters, play as the... Not the ranger, the thief or whatever. The starting...
The assassin.
Yeah, no, the assassin's the...
No. It's the, Oh, fuck, what was the name of it?
Right? It's the starting version of, like, the thief class. They start with dual blades.
Daggers.
Yeah, they start with dual blades and, yada, yada, yada. But as they level up, they gain bonus points to their focus, which is the most important stat, your stamina. So, yeah. Player, pro tip, if you want to have the best start off as the thief character. Because as you level up classes, you gain bonuses to certain stats. So if you play like a warrior, you get bonuses to strength. If you play as a mage, you get bonuses to your like mana and stuff like that, or not your mana, your magic attack power and resistances, so on and so forth. There's no mana in the game; it's just focus. It's all focus. That's why I said focus is which I was completely fine with. It makes sense. And oh my god, Taker, stop! And he kept slapping me. Almost killed me.
Tell it not to?
I said stop. He didn't stop.
Did? Oh, what?
Yeah, I know, right?
Can't say you didn't try. I mean,
so fucking rude. So, okay. Yeah. The, start off as the thief or whatever the fuck. Ranger. It's not Ranger. It's,
No, Ranger's the longbow.
Yeah.
Ranger's tenfold arrow.
Why can't I remember the start? Rockman, help me out here. What's that starting class?
So there's fighter, mage, but I can't for the life of me remember what the other one is.
Right. I can't either. It's the most generic title for that type of a thing, too, but I can't fucking remember. Anyway, start off with that class. There's 3 that you could start with. There's the mage, there's the spellcaster or whatever, the fighter, and then the one we can't fucking remember.
Just look it up.
That would defeat the whole purpose.
Do it.
Defeat the whole purpose. We're supposed to remember this shit. Anyway, but yeah.
God, it really is something we should remember.
Right?
That's the worst part.
But then there was the pawns. The pawns were so cool. How they did in gameplay and all that stuff. Because, okay, as you used your pawn, and you had your pawn do different things, they learned. And not in like a... right? It was so cool. It was something that nobody ever talked about, but it was so cool. Like, say for instance, you always target range units or something like that, or the second you get into an area, you just start picking things up off the ground. Your pawn will learn from that, and as it goes through the game, it will adopt those things that you do, or things that accommodate your playstyle. So say for instance you run into an area and you automatically start picking shit up, your pawn will do that for you. They'll be like, don't worry about it, dude. I got it. And they'll start running up and doing it.
The name.
What's that?
Of the other class that you guys can't remember.
Yeah, what's that?
It starts with an S.
Is it the Scout?
Strider?
No. There you go.
Strider!
Got it. Anyway. Okay, I don't feel so bad about not remembering that. It's a very unconventional name for what the class does. But anyway.
Right? Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, no, the whole pawn system in the game was so rewarding. It rewarded you for playing however you wanted to play. And it didn't do the stupid thing like, oh, okay, the pawn, you know, once you invest something in a skill point or something like that, that's when it adopts some characteristic. No, that's not how it worked. The character, or the pawn evolved with your gameplay through the game, which is really fucking cool. And that applied to every pawn that you could get online, too. Every pawn you got online that was someone else's had their own personalities, and they played completely differently. You could actually mold your pawn to fill a specific role, and you could put that in the description of the pawn, and people would be able to choose it based on what they needed from a case-by-case basis. It was so fucking cool, and it's so sad that no one really appreciates the gameplay mechanics that were put in for it. It was so fucking cool. So fucking cool.
It was so well done, too.
It was so well done! Anyway, that's enough gushing about Dragon's Dogma for now, because I'm going to end this episode. If you guys liked it, feel free to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, so on and so forth. And if you want us to talk more about Dragon's Dogma and gush about this, because, oh my god, we can so gush. We can so gush about Dragon's Dogma, holy shit. And anyway, check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com/thezanzibarman. There, you can give me monthly donations to help support me, support the channel, so that way I can try to put out better content and all that stuff. But, anyway, say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye,
Hi, everyone.
Oh my god, you took my outro.
Oh, God. I love that game.
You know, I like that you could, like, sit down